All right, today I'm going to be going through all of my Convoy flashlights. These are the ones that I've chosen and the only ones that I own anyway. But I'm going to show you why I've picked each of these flashlights. I'm going to show you what's included, the differences. And one of the things I love about Convoy is that they just do such great value flashlights. You know, whether you're looking at something like a throwy flashlight or even a little EDC flashlight like this, you really can't beat the quality and the value you get for what you pay. Now, before we get started, make sure you click the like button. It helps my video get out to more people. It doesn't cost you anything. And subscribe if you want to see me continue making flashlight reviews. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, with all of these flashlights, they pretty much don't come with a battery unless you buy one separately. And Convoy do offer batteries, but you need to sort of click a little button including. Some of them don't include batteries, even if you want one. So you have to actually find another source yourself. So something to remember is basically only this one here, the L8, and a couple of other Convoy models have onboard charging. The majority of Convoy models do not have onboard charging. So these little USB-C plug there. So in order to charge flashlights, you actually need to take the batteries out, charge them separately. Okay. Other than that, if you look at the build quality of the flashlights themselves, quite similar across the board. You've got this really nice matte black anodization. These two have a different type of anodization called micro arc oxidation. So it's a different type of coating on the outside, very durable as well. The overall build quality of the flashlights, when we're talking about the outside, the machining of the flashlights, fantastic. I mean, if you look at it, it's just simple designs, nice little cutouts on the heads to increase that surface area. But the most impressive thing, in my opinion, are the internal components. So Simon from Convoy actually offers a whole bunch of different drivers, LED options for most of these flashlights. So you can actually customize, go through. For example, this one here has a Nichia 519A emitter in there. You can choose the color temperature. I mean, you can choose all types of LEDs. You can have an SFT40 in here. You can have an SST40. You can have some other LEDs. I'm just trying to think what else there are. There's a few that you can add and customize and change the tint to whatever you like as well, given that they're in style. And that type of customization is unheard of with any other flashlight you get out there. You either just get one option or maybe two options max. Another good thing about all these flashlights is that they're easily taken apart. So for those of you who like tinkering around, changing your flashlights around, having a look what's inside, swapping the LEDs and that type of thing, very easy. You can unscrew the bezels on each of these flashlights, access the electronics, the drivers. You can access the LEDs very easily. So it's friendly for people who like to tinker around. I did already talk about the batteries and the charging, so I won't go through that too much. If you don't have an external charger, you're probably just going to have to get a battery that has a USB port so you can charge that battery separately. I've got quite a few flashlights, so I just have a separate charger so I can chuck all the batteries in. It makes it a lot easier than having to charge each of them separately. So as you can see, there's a bit of a lineup here, but most of these lights are actually throwy lights. If you look at the first 5 here, not counting the S2, they all have smooth reflectors and they have LEDs in there that are designed for long distance use. These two here on the left are probably the largest ones and they throw the furthest. You got about 1 kilometer throw with the C8 Plus, 1.5 kilometers throw with the L8 Plus. Okay, they produce vastly different lumens as well. This one's 5,000 lumens. I think this one would be close to 1,000 if any. And you know, you've got these two here, the M21B. I've got Osram W2 LEDs in here, so they produce 1,600 to 2,000 lumens, same as this one as well. So it's got another W2 LED in there. This one just has one of them has just got a green LED instead of the normal white LED. Okay, so really great value if you are looking for a little thrower flashlight. I think for me, these cost something between $30 to $50. I'm pretty sure you can get a normal C8 with the same emitter, this NM1 emitter in here, 1 kilometer throw, something like 25 Australian dollars. I mean, you can't beat that. In terms of being able to carry some of these around, like pretty much from this point onwards, the M21B onwards, these are the only ones that I'd be able to fit in my pocket, be willing to carry along with me. Even this one here, this C8 Plus, it's just way too large to fit into a jeans pocket. Probably fit into a hoodie pocket or something like that, and definitely not the L8. This is the monster of the lot. It outshines all the rest of these flashlights, but of course, that's a compromise. You're not going to be able to fit that in your pocket. So let's have a look at the LED, starting from the left. SBT 90.2 here. So this is the largest and the brightest LED of the bunch, and you can see it a little bit close up here under the camera. Okay, quite a large LED, capable of producing about 6,000 lumens, and it produces 5,000 in this particular flashlight. You can see here that's the this is the CSL NM1 1x1 millimeter LED on the C8 Plus, and it produces quite a lot of lumens considering how small the die surface is, and that's partially responsible for why this flashlight throws so far paired with a large, relatively large reflector like this. You've got these ones here, the M21B. These come with the PM1 emitters in there, and they're basically a 2x2 millimeter emitter, similar to the NM1, okay, but they basically produce a lot more light, so about 1,600 to 2,000 lumens each, okay, and I actually prefer these as compared to the SFT40s. I find that the warmer color of the beam and the additional throw it's just more appealing to me. But again, there's actually a couple of versions. These two here, like I got one in green, so that's actually the CSL PM1.F1, and then that one is the CUL PM1.TG. Okay, some slight differences as well. 30-30 footprint, 40-40 footprint. You see the white area surrounding the die is a little bit larger on that one. Some say that will help with additional heat sinking. Okay, but at the end of the day, I really recommend that you get one of these in the 6 amp versions. I've the white version 8 amps and also got a green one in 6 amps. The 6 amp version just runs a lot cooler. Basically the identical lumens, just a little bit brighter on the 8 amps, but it's not worth it when we compare how much heat that it produces. But yeah, if you want absolute maximum throw, then yeah, get the 8 amp version, but just keep in mind that it does produce a lot of heat to the point where you can't even hold on to the thing anymore. I got the green version because it produces so many lumens for pretty much the same current. I did a test in another video, and I think I found it to be about 400 and something lux compared to 250 lux for the normal white version. So the CSL PM1.F1 green actually produces another 200 meters of throw compared to the CUL PM1. So that's why I got it. If you can put up with green and you're just focusing on visibility and overall throw, fantastic. The M2 here, pretty much the same thing as the other emitter, the CUL PM1. It's the same CUL PM1, but it's driven at 6 amps. So that's what I was saying before. That's a good sustainable output. Doesn't produce too much heat, and you can run that for longer sustained lumen outputs. So this here, the last one here is my Convoy S2 Plus, and this has a Nichia 519A LED, and it has like a warmer colored beam. You see that? Nice sort of 3000 K beam. I love using this one at night, just as a night light next to my bed pointed to the roof. It's quite a calming sort of color, I suppose. It's not a thrower. It's not something that you can really use long distance, but it's just a nice floody everyday flashlight that you can get. And I think you can get a normal version of this, not the MAO version, not the white version, I think for less than 20 bucks. So I mean, you can't beat that. In terms of the UI, most Convoy lights come with the same sort of UI. I'll just demonstrate it on one of them here. So basically, click on, and there's all these mode groupings. So essentially, I've just chosen a mode grouping that has 5 different options. So 0.1, 1%, 10%, 30%, and then 100% output. I've selected that pretty much on all the flashlights because I just find that to be the most useful, so I can use it indoors, outdoors, have a pretty much a wide range of options to choose from. But there are other groupings that are actually in the firmware, so you can click. There's a little way, I'm not going to go through it in this video, but you can click through and select which one you want. I think there's about 10 to 20, I can't remember exactly, but you can go through, for example, if you want just the flashlight to turn on to 100% or use just the lower modes on the flashlights and not cycle through the others, you can select that. You can have it on a strobe mode or a bike mode, bike flashing mode as well, in a few different groupings. So it really depends, and I like that Convoy offer that kind of option to choose from. And it's a little bit difficult, I find, to get into the actual mode selection when you're first trying to do it, because it's a bit difficult. You've got to half press that button for 20 times, I believe. But once you get in, it's completely fine. And also makes it hard for you to accidentally change the mode grouping as well. So really, if you're deciding to buy one of these Convoy lights, first thing you need to figure out is whether you want something that's easily kind of be easy to carry around, what you're using it for. You know, for this one exactly, you know, I'm using that for just around the house, you know, nice warm beam. It's not going to create a really strong hotspot and be difficult to see. Whereas these here, more kind of throwy flashlights, you know, you can still use these ones for walking. This one is probably a bit too concentrated to use at the short to medium. You know, medium distant range probably should be fine, but short range, no way. These two, yeah, probably fine. Just got to lower down the brightness. Probably get away with that. We could just use that as a walking light as well, but you're going to have to lower that brightness down, and that's going to eliminate some of the flood as well. It's mostly lumens just concentrated right in the center of the beam. If you want a monster flashlight that can just throw the furthest and you know, for the best bang for buck, really recommend this L8. I don't use it all too often, but when I do, I'm always amazed. It's just difficult to carry this around, and it's a trade-off at the end of the day. If you want a light that produces a huge amount of throw and brightness, you're just going to need a larger bodied flashlight for that. So I'm going to cut to the beam shots in a moment, but just a reminder again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I probably have missed out some things in this video, so I'll get back to you if you leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what's your favorite Convoy light, and out of these ones as well, if there's one of them that you're particularly interested in. If you like the video and you want to see some more, make sure you click the like button. It helps me to get my videos out to more people. If you want to continue seeing me make more videos and better content, make sure you subscribe. This is a comparison of all my Convoy flashlights. Convoy S2 Plus on high. Pretty warm looking kind of beam. This is the C8 Plus. It almost reminds me of like an LEP style beam, except you've got so much flood on the edges. So it is still useful as a general walking light, but definitely suited for long distance throw. You can see the edges of the beam here on the ground. Convoy M2. Ramp it up as well. That's the highest mode. 100% with the CUL PM1. Convoy M21B with CUL PM1.tg. Kind of similar to the M2, but still a touch brighter. Throws further and a little bit brighter because it's at 8 amps and has a larger reflector as well. Great little thrower. Now I've got the Convoy M21B with a CSL PM1 F1 emitter. This is in green. The green emitter. And with the L8, you've just got this intense hotspot. Ridiculously intense. Reaches all the way to the back. Reaches all the way underneath those trees there, as you can see. Okay.